Travel 1 day north of El Paso until you find 3 small peaks. Then turn east into the desert until you find a spring at the basin of a lonely peak. These were the directions given to a priest named La Rue by a dying soldier in 1797. Now this place was the directions to the Mother Lode. So here we are, in the middle of nowhere, looking for this legendary mine. This is the story of the Lost Padre Gold Mine. The year was 1797, and a priest named La Rue at Durango was giving the last rites to a dying soldier. The young man told him of a gold deposit in the northeast. It wouldn't be long before the town of Durango was hit by a terrible drought. La Rue made haste to the north, telling the villagers to follow him. As he made his way past El Paso, he decided to search for this supposed mine. Legend says that La Rue would arrive in La Mesa, near Las Cruces. While there, the priest noticed 3 small peaks that rose over the Oregon mountains. These are known as the Needles today. You can actually see them in a documentary we did a while back about the Haina Ruby fluorite mine. Supposedly, after they found the peaks, they journeyed through the desert until they arrived at the San Andreas Mountains. There, they would find their fortune. Even though the story claims that the gold is in the San Andreas, some don't believe that to be the case. Although the directions are somewhat vague, they speak of a solitary peak, of which there is none in the San Andreas, Oregon's, or Franklin's. The closest thing is Victorio Peak, but there is no spring at its basin. Some treasure hunters, even those who claim to have found the mine, say that not all the directions are true, or at least as true as people think they are. A forum post on the website treasurenet.com led us here to the Franklins. This is the very beginning of our little hike. As you can see, we're not the first ones here. As you can also see, we have a very long climb ahead of us. Well, our intrepid hike continues. So far, no sign of the mine. There is pyrite, quartz, and tin in the Franklins, but there is no actual gold. At least none that we know of. So if this mine does exist, then they must have been very, very fortunate to find it. But the view is still incredible. Well, no evidence of the mine so far, but there is a lot of evidence of people up here. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever go hiking or shooting or anything, please clean up after yourself. This is absolutely unacceptable. Just terrible. Hear what? You heard whistling?
Did you hear it?
All I hear is gunfire.
No, then gunfire, then.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard it that time. That's freaking wild. That's don't.
Noises, I don't know what the origins are.
I heard a weird noise when I was up in Keweenaw. Around this strange tower, there was a weird whistle. It kind of reminds me of it.
Yeah. Up near Taos, there's this hum that just never stops.
Oh, I've heard about the Taos Hum. I really want to investigate it someday.
I think it's just a bunch of ancient people from a long lost civilization just coming underground somewhere.
You mean the crab people?
No. Crab people.
We are continuing our journey up the mountain. Still no evidence of any kind of mine. But, man, is it beautiful. Well, our intrepid hike continues up the mountain. Still no evidence of the Lost Padre mine, but the possibility still remains that we will not find this mine. But I remain confident and steadfast that we will see a mine today. But wow, look at this cactus. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's amazing. What an incredible, incredible place. Despite a 6-hour trek through the mountains, we were unable to find the mine. In the end, the priest LaRue met a fate of torture. Spanish soldiers heard of the mine and rode north. Upon hearing the Spanish were on their way, LaRue and his followers hid the mine and all their gold inside. They would die never giving away the secret. That is, assuming all of this is even true. Dr. Hendricks, a scholar of Spanish colonial history, says this is all a tall tale. It may have spawned from the Catholic priest Jose Lorenzo, who owned a series of silver and copper mines in the Oregon Mountains in the mid-18th century. Although we did not find the Lost Padre mine, there is another mine that we decided to visit that day. So here we are, we found it. Not the Lost Padre mine, but a mine nonetheless. On the exact opposite side of the mountains that we were just on. Right next to civilization. This is a mine that is rarely ever talked about, and a lot of people don't know much about it. But it's a cool part of El Paso's history, nonetheless. This cave's not very deep. It's only about 40 feet. But that is all that would be necessary. This place was known as the Practice Mine. It was built in 1919, and this is where students would go to practice mining. It's very, very fascinating. So in the modern day, they call this place the Kissing Cave. For obvious reasons. Hey there, Kiwi. This mine attracts all sorts of visitors, apparently. Just got questioned by the coppers. Has anyone even said coppers like since the 1920s?
No. That's why I said 5-0.
Oh, 5-0 is a very 80s term.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We may not have been able to find the Lost Padre mine, but at least we were get to see some kind of mine, a practice mine, but it's still an interesting part of El Paso's history. And overall, this has been a very fascinating journey, and I'm glad you could have accompanied us on it. The Lost Padre Mine is a fascinating and exciting tale, perfect for any treasure hunter. That and the story of the practice mine, which still captivates UTEP students to this day, are both important parts of El Paso's cultural history and will never be forgotten.
Walking home alone again. Oh, Enid, where did you go? Looking for another friend. Oh, Enid, where did you go? Oh, where did you go?
I wonder how much more we can hike.
This hike is over. I'm going back to the car. That's it. Let's go.
Turn east and keep traveling until you find a basin. Oh, frick, I messed it up. Alright. Then turn east. Alright, let me try one more time. I got it. I got it this time. Might as well just start a new clip at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.